How do I do this time? Hey, what's up, you guys? Yes. Hey, guys, welcome back to my channel. Okay. Lights. So bright. Camera. Action. What up, y'all? Welcome back to my channel. Dude, when I watched that intro, my voice, I always like bring it up to this little notch. I don't know why. I'm going to try to keep it normal. I try to act like it's JD, Cade, Al sitting right across from me and we're just talking. Welcome, everybody. Welcome back. The second video that I will be posting on my channel. I think I want to get into the podcast engineering, producing side of things. I would love to obviously be on air. That would be everybody's dream. But podcasting in general, I just think it's our generation's radio. And I mean, I listen to a million podcasts and I think it's what I want to do. I don't really know exactly how yet, but it's what I want to do in some way or form. So what better way to get into podcasting than start a podcast? My coworker Mason and I, huge football fan, with me every Sunday night, we'll be bringing you, well, Monday or Tuesday, every Sunday night we will be getting together and going over the day's games, freaking out, using some superlatives, using some expletives when the Cowboys blow 3 or 4 leads for no reason. It's going to be a great year. Oh, why did I not start this? Everybody. Let's fucking go, dude. Let's fucking go. Football's fucking back. Let's go. Best day of the year. Best weekend of the year. Thank you for canceling Hoot Fest. Give me my money back. They're only offering us 20% refunds. Ugh, dude, whatever. You're not bursting my bubble today. Football is back, dude. I'm already like shaking, so nervous. We're going to get fucking mollywopped tonight. I already know it. But regardless, Mason and I, that was the first by the way. I'm already getting better. Mason and I are going to be running a football podcast through the season, just shooting the shit, trying to carry a conversation, keep it short. Our first one, which you're about to see, maybe, if you watch, thank you again. Like, comment, subscribe. Got to remember that. We're going to keep it shorter, I promise. This one was way too long. The first half is us just kind of going over the offseason, our favorite storylines, favorite teams coming into the season. The second half, we kind of go into week one's games, go over the lines, make our picks for each of them. We're going to keep a running tally. I've got the video, the podcast, or the audio version will be available next week when we start next week's episode. This week's been overwhelming, man. So, by the way, thank y'all for the comments and support. I think I got more support on that video than I have from mine. Let's get that out. That was so cringy to watch and hear. So it was cool that at least some people, even if you lied to me, I appreciate the lies. I still took it well. Anyways, holy cow, this is the longest intro to a pod ever. We're going to be running a pod through the football season. Hopefully it's entertaining. Through the basketball season, Clark and I will be. I'm going to get better at this, y'all. It's going to be better. It's going to look better, sound better every week. I promise you. Humor me. Enjoy it. Football is back. Welcome to Cover 2. Let's get to it. Peace.
So excited for this weekend, dude.
I cannot wait.
All right, should we kick it off? Looks like we're ready.
This is the first one, the inaugural Cover 2. I'm Nathan Phillips. I'm here with
Mason Besser.
Yes, hopefully those graphics I worked on for 4 hours last night will look okay. It's pretty simple. We're two fiends who are just obsessed with the NFL, and we figured why not talk about it. I'm going to school trying to... Dude, I did that earlier. I say and so many times. Yeah. It is infuriating. There it is again. Dude, I do it so much. Okay. We're going to start with our 5 favorite storylines. We're just going to jump right into it. We're going to be here every Sunday night recording, talking about the week's games, looking ahead towards the next week's games. I can hopefully have it out by Monday or Tuesday for y'all. And you can get a look at how the season's going. If you don't get to watch, listen to us. We'll let you know. We'll keep you updated. We're going to keep it short. We're going to keep it sweet. Hopefully. Mason, how excited are you? Yesterday was our last Sunday without football for the year.
I am beyond excited. I am like a kid before Christmas. I have been waiting for this ever since August started because that's the first month we actually get football back. So the clock has just been ticking in my head, and I am so ridiculously excited to sit down on Sunday and watch hours and hours and hours of football.
I get so excited when the preseason starts because it's back and football's back. And then you start watching the preseason games and you're like, holy shit, these are just such bad football. But It is here, Thursday. We are kicking it off. Before we get into Thursday's game and week one's games, we each have our 5 favorite storylines. So I'll just go ahead and kick it off with my first one. I figured we'll just jump back and forth.
I like it.
Okay.
I like it.
My first one is unfortunately COVID. COVID is back up and roaring again. We're going to stay away from all COVID and vaccine talk on here the best we can. The thing with COVID that is so interesting is that now this season we have a vaccine available. So obviously all teams in the league is encouraging players to get vaccinated. I have here that the vaccination rate hovered around 93% after rosters were cut down on last Tuesday. The Cowboys already have a positive test, fully vaccinated, but Zach Martin still tested positive. So if you are fully vaccinated and test positive, if you're asymptomatic, you need 2 negative tests 24 hours apart. The odds that happens are tiny by Thursday for him. But it is at least encouraging to know that if a fully vaccinated player tests positive on a Monday, maybe of a game week, they have until Thursday, Friday to get those back-to-back negative tests. Unfortunately, I mean, you have players, Lamar Jackson, I'm pretty sure Dak, Carson Wentz just had to enter the protocol, Kirk Cousins. You have a handful of kind of big names who aren't vaccinated. So I'm really hoping that it stays away from affecting games. But unfortunately, I'm kind of scared.
I'm really hoping we don't have to see a practice squad receiver play quarterback this season because of the COVID protocols. I just really hope we can have a full season of competitive games, not having to stress out about something like this.
I'm reading here there were several teams per sources that wouldn't even work out an unvaccinated player this summer, let alone sign one. Many free agent players said the vaccine question was the first one teams asked. Let's get off COVID immediately because that was probably, hopefully, the most boring part of this entire podcast. What is your first thing that you're looking at?
My first thing is the Chargers hiring Brandon Staley.
Yeah,
Naturally. And not just because I am a fan. I am very intrigued to see how the number one defensive coordinator, the coordinator that led the number one defense in the league, can transition into a head coaching role with a defense that was very average and let up a lot of easy points and just letting teams check down. I'm excited to see a culture change in a team with a defensive coordinator like that. This guy seems like a big philosophy guy. I'm just really excited to see how that goes.
How do you feel about the fact that he's a defensive coach and so many of the coaches now, Sean McVay, Kyle Shanahan, are like offensive guys that are offensive oriented?
Yeah. Initially, I wasn't very happy about it.
Did you even know who he was before the process started?
Yeah, I was doing my research, just looking around at different coordinators and what was opening up. I wanted Dable from the Bills for obvious reasons, what he did with Josh Allen. After listening to his philosophy, though, and how he views the offensive side of the ball, I'm okay with it. And our defense was a huge issue. The offense really wasn't an issue. We had our problems, like the philosophy itself, but I really like having a defensive coach, and this guy just seems like he's smart all around.
I think it's going to be really good. I think the Chargers are going to be like the Bills of last year. Herbert came onto the scene just absolutely balling. I don't think anybody expected him to be as good as he was.
I sure didn't. I didn't even want to take him in that draft.
The only thing, I think no one's going to know if Staley's going to anyone who says, "Oh, I don't think it's going to work," they don't know. The only thing that you can look at in the past is guys like the Dan Quinns of the world who are clearly much better at coordinating positions than they are as a head coach, because a head coach, you have to be in control of the whole locker room. You got to
rosters.
He can't just hang out with the defense. He's got to go check on special teams, check on quarterbacks during practice.
All the other coaches as well. He manages all the coaches.
All in check. Yeah. So how much of his imprint will be on the defense? I'm sure scheme wise it will be. It'll be interesting.
It's huge.
Who's their D coordinator?
Why am I blanking this right now? It's the defensive backs coach from Denver. All of his staff that he hired, he's had experience with and he's built a rapport with. I think it's Ronaldo Hill. It's Ronaldo Hill. That's what it is. He has experience with him. Good, yeah, he has experience with him under the Fangio tree.
Yeah, I like that.
So, yeah, I like that. And they've brought in some players that they want to bring in. Chargers are going to
be interesting, man. They're
very interesting.
I mean, they're with the Chiefs in that division, but I think many people are expecting them to, at minimum, challenge the Chiefs, if not at least get a wild card.
We always seem to. It's like division rivals like that always have, good games with each other. And our defense, even with Gus Bradley under that shitty coverage defense, they would run the cover 3s, the cover 2s, the very what is the word I'm thinking of? It's very conservative defense.
Just vanilla, yeah.
Very vanilla and conservative. And our defense always just was giving Mahomes trouble. So I'm excited. That's probably my favorite storyline, that being a Chargers fan and seeing how a coordinator will take over a whole team.
Well, staying in the AFC, my second storyline is the Miami Dolphins. I cannot wait to watch the Dolphins. I'm still on the Tua train myself. I'm still all on the Tua train. He was just so good coming in, and last year was such a roller coaster. They threw him in halfway through the season. Every bad throw and possession he would have, he's looking over his shoulder to see if Fitz is coming back in. Fitz is like this hanging gloom over a young quarterback because every team looks at him as like, oh, we can win games, especially if you're a coach who's trying to either make an imprint or you're trying to save your job. You want the guy who's like the reliable guy, and Tua was a little all over the place, but thrown in mid-year, I think a full offseason to get used to the playbook, get used to his weapons. They've added weapons now.
Oh yeah,
I forget his name every time. The rookie guy, Jalen Waddle,
and
Jalen
Will
Waddle
Fuller.
and Will Fuller added. Gesicki. The running game's a little questionable, but even Gaskin isn't bad. My guy Byron Jones. There was a little drama with Xavier Howard in camp. It looks like he's playing.
He's back. Yeah,
He's
looks
back.
like he'll be here for the season at least.
The season at least. They want to keep him and get that contract restructured. Their defense was just so good that they were in every single game. I think if Tua just manages it, we could see him take a leap. Always going to be biased to those lefties. And another reason it's so interesting is because there's this Deshaun Watson like aura that's like looming over the team. There are these rumors coming around again that they were talking to Houston. I don't know what team in their good mind could trade for him right now with all the shit he's got going on. Combine that with the Texans wanting like 3 firsts and 2 seconds just as a starting price. They don't even want Tua apparently, which is weird. I think they're just trying to tank, get a number 1 pick, take Rattler or something. The Dolphins seem like they're the most likely team to end up with Deshaun. So to have them with Tua, who's like, they just took him last year as the guy going forward, if they're already looking at Deshaun, that tells me in-house they're kind of iffy, to say the least, if not already out. It might not matter because Deshaun's the type who's so good that even if you have a young guy who you think might be good, if you can get someone like Deshaun Watson, you're just going to do it. But I think Tua can really close the door on that this year, because if he's good, you still have another 2 years of him on a rookie contract that you can afford all these crazy expensive guys. You got Brian Flores, who I think is a really good coach.
I just want to see Tua stay healthy for a full 17-game season now. If he can do that in the grueling NFL season and like landscape, then I will be on the Tua train as well. I'm not quite sold yet, but that defense is sneaky good.
I'm looking at their divisions right now. Last year, they had to play the NFC West and the AFC West.
That's brutal.
Brutal. This year, they're playing the AFC South.
Come on.
And the NFC South, who after the Bucks,
I mean,
is
no.
one of the worst. Get to play the Raiders and the Giants.
So they're playing some iffy defenses, so I think Tua could really shine. I just need to see him stay
second
healthy.
half of the year. I like their schedule a lot more after they get through that Bills, Ravens, Bucks stretch, or Bucks, Bills, Ravens stretch, sorry. Jets, Panthers, Giants, Jets again, Saints, Titans, Pats at home, who they always play well. I'm excited, dude. I think we might have a sneaky contender in the AFC East. I know everyone's on the Pats, but I like the Dolphins because I like Tua to take that leap, and over 9 wins, give me that all day long. Let's go to your second storyline that you like.
The Buccaneers keeping all 22 of their starters from their Super Bowl winning team. It's unheard of. That's never happened. It's going to be very intriguing to see what happens. Barring any COVID incidents, they should be just as good. Tom Brady had a full offseason to really learn their scheme and system last season. They didn't have everything clicking until a later week. So to see them all returning and on the same page is going to be really interesting to watch. I really like that storyline just because it's never happened before. Yeah,
dude,
wow.
It is crazy to see them bring everybody back. That
It's unheard of.
Literally doesn't happen. Don't
you
know
go
if it's
other
ever happened.
players like the star. There's going to be some people in the secondary that might go get a deal. You might lose some O-line. Some players are going to retire, but
yeah, usually you can't afford to keep everybody. Shaq Barrett took a smaller
so
deal.
many
Levante
players
David
took pay
took a cut.
cuts. Mike Evans took a pay cut for their practice squad, I believe. Like they are bought into that team, so it's going to be interesting.
It's
they are
pretty
bought
cool.
in and they are ready to go.
I think now that we have 17 games they're playing, man, dude, I mean 13, 14, 15 isn't out of the realm, and anyone who's picking somebody other than them to come out of the NFC, is doing it just because they don't like Tom Brady, in my opinion. And that's partially me because I'm ready for him to go. I love seeing it, but, can we get somebody else? Can we get somebody else in the fucking... He's been in 20% of the Super Bowls.
It's ridiculous.
It's
he would have 10 rings if not for Nick Foles and Eli Manning. 10 rings.
It's crazy, dude. But it's still fun to watch. So, I mean,
watching a dominating
Hopefully they start
player like
0-1. Hopefully they start 0-1. That's all we can hope for. The Patriots, speaking of Brady, are my third storyline. I can't wait to watch them, dude. God, there's so many teams that I can't wait to watch. The fact that they cut Cam last week, which none of us were expecting, is crazy.
It's time for the Mac attack.
It is. I got that right here. Mac attack, baby. If he's good, they're going to be good because they had the most guys out of anybody in the league last year opt out. Those guys are coming back, minus Patrick Chung, who retired. They upgraded at receiver. Aguilar is an upgrade from what they had. I don't think he's a number one, but in a system, he can be okay. Jacoby Myers has looked really good. More than anything, they've got Hunter Henry and Jonnu Smith, the two tight ends.
For them. That's huge.
Especially a rookie loves throwing to those tight ends. And in that system is made. We saw what Bill's done with tight ends before, Rob Gronkowski and Aaron Hernandez. It should work again. I love Damian Harris. The O-line is good. I think they're sneaky good. Their over-unders 9 wins. I'll take that over too.
So I have the Patriots as my last storyline, so I'm just gonna add on to yours
for sure.
They're healthy. No one's opting out as we know of right now. It's a little too soon to be opting out, so it looks like everyone's back. And with everything that happened last season, they still got 7 wins. They squeaked out 7 wins. Bill Belichick, I mean, that guy's going to find a way to win some games. So the fact that everyone's back and he has a rookie quarterback that is a system quarterback, not extremely talented with his arm. He's not mobile. He just throws the ball where it needs to go. I mean, what more does Bill Belichick want out of a guy? I'm really excited to watch this team as well. Mac Jones could be a sneaky offensive rookie of the year pick if everything goes to plan.
Yeah, I've read that he goes through his progressions crazy quick, and that's what people love. And for a young guy to not get hung up on your Odell like Baker was, or your number one guy, to be able to go through progression that quickly,
like that
early,
guy.
He does seem like that guy. I'm looking at their schedule again, just like the Dolphins. They had to play the AFC West and the NFC West. Again, still got 7 wins, like you said, and now they get to play the AFC South and the NFC South. They're two out of their other 3 games are tough because you got the Browns and the Chargers. Cowboys probably won't be that tough because they just always fuck up the Cowboys for years. But I'm excited. Go ahead and jump to your 4th one then, if I stole one of yours.
Matthew Stafford to the Rams. We have been waiting for this guy to get on a team that supports him for so long, and I am so excited. I think this guy deserves a ring. I think he deserves his recognition.
Hall of Famer.
Absolutely. I am so excited for Matthew Stafford to be on a team that cares about him. Detroit is a dumpster fire. There's no other way to put it. They waste talent. They are the best team at one of the best teams at wasting talent. And I don't know what more I could possibly say. I think McVay and Stafford are a match made in heaven. I think McVay is going to do him plenty of favors, and they have weapons there too. And that system is fantastic. I'm so excited for Matthew Stafford.
I think when I was doing my prep for the over-under pod that we did last week, I saw that Jared Goff on deep balls ranked 31st in passer rating. Stafford was the best in the league when pressured last year, and on deep balls, his passer rating was like 4th. I think McVay is like a little kid in a candy shop with Stafford.
Absolutely.
I think he low-key couldn't stand Goff, especially the last 2 years when it was so evident how limited he was. Stafford can do everything, man. He's had a top 10 defense one time, and that one time they went 11-5, and they went to the playoffs. My boys beat them. Hallelujah. Thanks for not calling that pass interference on Anthony Hitchens. Thank you. That was the only playoff win I think of the last a very long time. I'm such a fan of his too. He reminds me of Romo, where like Tony didn't get any help for the longest time, and then you finally give him some help, and weird, he wins 12 games. I think he's gonna ball out. I think he's 14-1 to lead the league in passing yards. Give me that all day long, especially with Cam Akers going down with their defense. They're probably gonna have good field position, so maybe he's not gonna have to throw it all the time and throw it all over the field. But man, dude, they're my pick to come out of the NFC.
Okay.
Again, I'm just zagging because the Bucks are the easy one. After the Bucks, give me the Rams. And I can't wait to see it, dude. I can't wait to see him in that uni. They're going against the Bears Sunday night right out of the gate. I think he's going to light it up out of the gate. We're going to hear Chris Collinsworth, man, this guy's he just hasn't gotten his due out. Like, I can't wait for it.
He is arguably a top 3 quarterback in terms of arm talent in the league. I mean, that he can sling the fucking rock.
And we're going to get to see him throw it all over the Hawks.
I am so excited. This guy has deserved his fair shot for a while now. Detroit just fucks anyone over. It's perfect for Matthew Stafford.
I don't really want to go into the Aaron Rodgers stuff. I had that as one of them. I think we've all heard everything. He's here for the year. The only thing I would like to say is that I think it would be the most Aaron Rodgers thing of all time for them to go 14-3. He beats Brady in the NFC Championship game, wins the Super Bowl, and then still says, "See ya." And
I'm hosting
leaves.
Jeopardy now.
Yeah, and I'm gonna host Jeopardy and play for the Broncos. I still don't want to be here. It would make no sense because part of his wanting to leave made no sense to me. They have been in the NFC Championship game, I think, 2 years in a row, and I know over the last handful of years they've been in there plenty of times. They're usually winning their division. They have a good defense. They have statistically the best corner in the league. They've always put him around or surrounded him with a good O-line. He's got maybe the best receiver in the league. He's got Aaron Jones. A.J. Dillon is now good. Part of me doesn't, like, you want to go to the Broncos? Like, I don't really get why. I guess now we're talking about it. I didn't want to talk about it. I'm just going to skip to my other one. Rookie quarterbacks. We talked about Mac already. Kind of just want to talk about 2 of them. I want to talk about Justin Fields and Trey Lance. 2 very different situations the 2 of them are in. Trey Lance is ready to go in terms of his team's ready to go. They've got a running game. They have a defense that, when healthy, carried them to a Super Bowl last year. The team was just in the Super Bowl 2 years ago. And they have a trickier quarterback room because Garoppolo, clearly Lance is the guy. Clearly they're going to get rid of Jimmy. But I think, have they announced who's starting yet?
It's Garoppolo.
As
right now, it is Garoppolo.
So I have here the 2 schedules.
I'm pulling up my San Francisco schedule as
and
well.
I'm looking at when is a possible time he's going to come in. They do have a brutal schedule after week 1 and 2. They've got Green Bay, Seattle, Arizona, and then a bye week 6.
I like week 6, or I guess week 7 to start.
Week 7.
Indy's tough, but
they're at home too. At home after a bye, and then you got Bears, Cardinals, Rams, Jags after that. I think, especially if they get off to a rocky start, I think Kyle clearly wants to play him.
Oh yeah,
especially
because they're running a 2 quarterback thing. I've heard we're gonna see both of them this season, but it's the age old thing of if you have 2 quarterbacks, you have no quarterbacks.
Exactly, and I think especially if they start out rocky, especially if Jimmy starts out rocky, which before he got hurt last year he did, I think he'll be in sooner rather than later. Now, Justin Fields, it's so tough because the Bears are just a mess. Their roster is not very good. Their receivers, you got Allen Robinson, but that's about it. Their O-line is an absolute disaster, and I'm happy, honestly, they're not playing him week 1. I know the hot thing to do is, and like what all of us non-football people, like who aren't in the building, we just want to see him play. Exactly. But you got to be thinking that this is the guy who's going to be our guy for the next 10, 15 years. To throw him against the Rams Sunday night to open the season would be a disaster. Now, if you want to put him in week 2 when you're at home against the Bengals, I'm all for that. I think, honestly, the smartest thing to do is to wait until after their bye, which is week 10. You're coming off of a 3-4 game gauntlet of Packers, Bucks, Niners, Steelers. I think you take that week 10 bye. You're probably, you're playing the Rams and the Browns. There's a good chance they're going into that week 10 bye like 3-6. I think you take that. You decide, all right, this season we've kind of already mailed it in. Let's throw him in the second half of the season. Let him run around. Let him win a couple fantasy leagues for people, and go from there. And let Andy Dalton fizzle out at the beginning of the year. Bring Justin in, and now you've got your guy of the future. You can get him some reps. Next year, you go full go.
I like that as well. The big question is going to be Andy Dalton for me. I don't think he's going to be good, particularly. I think he's fizzled out over these past couple of years. I mean, we saw it in Dallas, just how good he was. I could see it a little sooner. I mean, you got Detroit and Vegas 4-5, and then you have an absolute gauntlet, like you said. You don't want to throw your rookie quarterback into the fire, especially against that Tampa away too. You do not want him playing the Tampa defense.
I do love Fields in the long haul, though. I think he's going to be really good.
Me too. If he were starting this season, I might even have him as a Rookie of the Year candidate. I think it could be him or Mac. I mean, nothing against Trevor Lawrence. Something about Fields I like. I really like Justin Fields. I would love to see him play this season. I hope he gets a few weeks.
Hit me with your last topic then before we head into these week 1 games.
Jameis motherfucking Winston.
Wow,
Mr. 30 for 30.
I did not expect that.
I'm excited to watch him play again. I don't know how
yeah.
good they're going to be. They don't necessarily have weapons, but I love Jameis Winston. I don't know what it is. I just fucking love the guy. I'm so excited for him to get a shot again. If it were Taysom Hill starting, I would have rided.
I wouldn't have wanted. I would have not wanted to watch their games, especially you're looking at a team that has another good roster, and I've heard some people when they're giving their previews be like, "Oh, we're going from Drew Brees." Sorry about that, guys. We're going from Drew Brees to Jameis Winston. Like, give me the under. Give me the under. There's no way. Can we all just say Drew Brees sucked last year, and he honestly sucked the year before too, and honestly, I'm just going to say sucked the year before, even though that might be wrong. All of my recent memory of Drew Brees is a guy who can't throw the ball more than 15 yards down the field.
He was just regressing, it happens.
It's not his fault.
Sad,
but he was in his early 40s, and I get he saw Brady keep doing it, and him and Brady were just bouncing back and forth between the records last year of touchdowns and whatnot. I'm so glad he finally hung it up because it was so hard to watch. It was honestly sad, dude. It was
very sad. It's very sad.
And it was sadder for Saints fans because they were bad and they couldn't move the ball. I love Jameis being in there. He's going to throw more picks than him, even though, again, I saw Drew throw some bad picks last year.
Oh, yeah.
So I think while he'll throw some picks, he's going to make so many throws that Drew hasn't been able to make the last couple of years. If Michael Thomas can not be a fucking lunatic and just be normal again and come back to your leading the league in catches self, then everyone loves these Marquez Callaway guy. I think he could turn it around, and the team's got a potential to be good, but either way, it's going to be a fun.
Yeah, I'm not expecting them to win a bunch of games or do anything too insane, make a deep playoff push, but I love me some Jameis Winston. He threw for 5,000 yards and 30 touchdowns and 30 interceptions. We don't talk about that, though. Yeah. He's got arm talent. He has incredible arm talent, and there's just something about it. I'm just a Jameis truther.
Well, and you'd like to think that Sean Payton might be able to
help him out a little bit.
Not make either the bad decisions more so than fucking Dirk Cutter did, or I think his first coach there was, who was the old Lovie Smith? Like, we're talking about.
We're talking like high school
not
coaching
who you want your quarterback developing with. Yeah, Sean Payton should be able to get a lot more out of him. That's a fun one. I like that one.
Yeah, I really like that.
Okay, we're going to take a short little break, and we will be right back after. All right.
Saints Rams NFC Championship. You heard it here first.
Wow. Jeez. Rams Steelers is pretty bold.
That is very bold. That is insanely bold.
120 to 1 bold. You heard it here first. Steelers are your Super Bowl champions.
I wish I had a fucking soundboard so I could play some ludicrous fucking sound right now.
44 to 1 on FanDuel, 40 to 1 on some illegal sites that I would never place money on.
Oh, we didn't get, if we're not airing that last episode, are we still making that bet that I don't even think the Steelers.
Okay, yeah. So Mason, welcome back everybody. We are back from break. Our liquid courage here. Cheers to Al, Eric, Rainier. I would never give someone under 21 any alcohol, so Mason's not drinking a Rainier in a solo cup. It's apple juice. But yeah, so the episode that we recorded last week that we're not posting, we were giving our AFC and NFC picks, and yes, it's a little bold. Something about the Chiefs this year, I'm just going to say, I think this year is going to be okay. No,
think they might fall off a little bit.
No, because there's no reason that they fall off.
Yeah,
I think I'm unfortunately just already suffering Chiefs fatigue.
Oh, me too. Absolutely.
Like, Mahomes is so good. Andy Reid's so good. Kelsey is so good. Tyreek is so good.
It gets old to put them in the Super Bowl every fucking year.
I mean, in the East, like every year, people would try to make these reasons and come up with these grand like this and this and this is going to happen, and LeBron's not going to be in the finals, and then he just takes a shitty team to the finals again. So I think that's most likely with the Chiefs. I've heard a guy say that if you want to make money over like a 10-year span, just bet the Chiefs to win the Super Bowl every single year, and if they win 3 of them, you're going to make money. So yes, it might be Chiefs fatigue, but the Steelers, guess how you stop the Chiefs? The best defense in the league. There is a little TJ Watt drama going on right now because they're trying to structure out a contract. It looks like there's a good chance he's not going to play this next week.
No
This
shit.
first week, yeah. He's still not participating in any team
He's not
drills.
playing the Bills, too.
Yeah, I think they're almost a 7-point underdog now. Stephon Tuitt's on the IR to start the year. So that's dicey. I think because he wants to be the highest paid, and he should be.
He should be, absolutely.
I think it's just Cade was telling me, he's my Steelers insider, that they're just very iffy about giving people big amounts of guaranteed money. That was the Antonio drama and the Le'Veon drama. This guy's not Antonio and Le'Veon.
Watt, dude. That guy's a class act.
Yeah.
He's not a big character guy. Like, he's not gonna go fuck you over. He just wants
And
to
that
get paid
position
because
to
he's
me-
fucking dominant. That's so valuable.
After a quarterback and maybe an elite left tackle, having
You
someone
need a
that can
good pass rush.
not even need a good one, but if you have a great one, dude, you can't game. I mean, yeah, you can send a double team, but I mean, and I was
Then you're
saying this
freeing
to
up
Kate
other
earlier.
players.
An elite corner, you can even game plan around. You can either stick your number 2 guy on him, or if he's shadowing your number 1 guy, odds are you don't have another elite number 2 guy. Like, you can attack different parts of the field. You can game plan around that. You can't game plan around a guy who's going to just get your quarterback off of his platform 24 times a game and requires a double team or a chip block from a running back every single time.
Just knowing he is coming at you and you have to keep an eye on him, and that you get in a quarterback's head, having him is more valuable than just having him getting to the quarterback and dominating, which he does do.
So that's a bit of drama, but it'll get worked out. They'll either pay him this week or next week.
You
or
have
whatever.
to.
They're going to bring him back.
to.
And the best defense in the league is going to be the best defense again. And Big Ben, Mr.
Oh my
Mr.
God.
Allegation himself. Speaking of Deshaun, somebody who knows about allegations is Big Ben.
Deshaun needs Big Ben's lawyer. That's
Honestly,
what I'm trying to say.
yeah,
Man.
and he needs his defense too. Because with that defense, Ben's going to spread the ball around. You got Najee, who's going to probably lead the league in touches. A huge upgrade from James Conner. Their O-line, they're starting a couple of debatable guys, but it was debatable last year, and they still won, 13 games or something? I think their defense is going to be so good again. I think Minka's going to be so good again. I would have to pull up their schedule again, but I'll pull it up when we get to Bills Steelers. We'll revisit it again. Bills Steelers. Yeah, it is good. 44-1 though on FanDuel. Mark it down.
Yeah, we got to make a bet, though, because I am under the belief right now that if they do make the playoffs, they won't get past the division.
Oh, right. So our bet. What did we bet?
So I was just saying that I don't.
An ass tat?
That's a good one.
No, we're not doing that.
That's a good one. I'll do it. Fuck it, I'll do it.
No.
No, because deep down you know.
I'm just not putting my ass on the line for Ben Roethlisberger. Literally, I'm not going to do that. So,
and he'll take that. Too.
I'll bet. How about? So Mason and I both work at a car wash. We make pretty good tips.
Oh, you want to bet the tips, huh?
How about we bet tips for a day on it?
Okay.
So if they win and it's a day of our choosing,
we'll look at a day on the schedule where it looks like it might be nice or it looks like it might be pretty busy. And if it's a good day and we're both there, okay.
So that's about $100 bet. It's about $100 bet minimum.
I like it. Yeah.
Yep. Even though as far as the government is concerned, we do not make tips. So we're fake betting that.
Yeah, we're alleged tips.
Yes, alleged. Okay, so we're just going to go game by game, y'all. We're going to go game by game. Week 1 is here. Hallelujah. Praise the Lord. It is actually a pretty good slate of week 1 games, and we kick it off. Opening night. Upset of the year. Cowboys. Bucks.
We them boys.
Oh, God, dude. God damn. We haven't been on an opening game because we're never usually playing in the game at the end of the year. And usually they just start those games with like a rematch of the Super Bowl or something. 7.5 is the spread. That half is a big one. This game is going to be in my tease of the week. Teasers are free money, especially when you're taking my picks. A lot of these week 1 games we're kind of, again, just talking about what we think about teams for the year because we haven't seen anything from anybody. I, unfortunately, as excited as I am to watch this game, it's probably going to be pretty ugly. Again, we talked about Tampa bringing everybody back. If you're talking about the Cowboys, we got Dan Quinn. I'm hoping he's going to go back to his Seattle D coordinator days of being really good on that side of the ball, honing on our secondary, I think Trayvon Diggs is a stud. I think Micah Parsons is a stud. I don't think our line is very good, unfortunately. I don't think we're going to pressure Brady, and I think he's just going to pick us apart and go up and down the field. The only reason that we can stay in the game, possibly, is the reason that we're going to be in most games, and that is our offense. Our offense is elite. We got Dak coming back. Yeah, he might be a little rusty, but he's looked real good on those Hard Knocks highlight reels. Real good, even though it's just Hard Knocks highlight reels, and it's the Cowboys editing them, so obviously they're going to put all the best stuff on there. But I think there's a chance we just stay in a shootout with them. If there was ever a week that we were going to beat the Bucks, it's going to be week 1. It's going to be the first game of the year. Maybe a little bit of rust.
That's a Cowboys thing to do.
They're raising the banner. Maybe they just come out a little rusty and we jump on them. CD gets a big touchdown early and all of a sudden it's 7-3 and 10-3 and we're like, oh, okay, this game might be a little close. But unfortunately, we're most likely looking at a Buccaneers Week 1 win.
Yeah, I'm right there with you. I don't think that the Cowboys are going to be far off. I like that offense. I mean, their offense kept them in games, even though that defense was just fucking them over. I think that the Bucs will probably squeak out a win, but I think it'll be a close game.
7.5, that's an interesting one, because even if it's 10, 11, 12 points at the end, even if it's 14 points at the end, all it takes is a little garbage time score to get that under 7.5. So with the tease, you can get that up to 13.5 for the Cowboys, or you could get the Bucs down to 1.5, which is pretty juicy too. Let's go from that game to the barn burner Sunday morning. Steelers, Bills. We were just talking about the Steelers. Unfortunately, again, especially if TJ is out, this might be a rough week 1. It's 6.5 in favor of Buffalo. I still think it's going to be a good game. I still think the Steelers, it's going to be fun just to see Najee out there and then to see Buffalo come back. This does look like a good statement game week 1 that Buffalo could make. Buffalo's kind of the team that a lot of people could see topping the Chiefs. What do you think about Steelers-Bills?
I like the Bills in that game. I like the Bills topping the Chiefs, like you said. I am one of those people, and it probably is Chiefs fatigue because I'm seeing them in my division twice a year too. I really like the Bills, though, and as we've talked about, I'm not a big Steelers truther. That defense is elite, though, so if anyone could contain that explosive offense, it really could be the Steelers.
I like this, and we should keep a running tally of our picks. We'll just make picks of each game, and we'll keep track of them for the year. Let's say whoever has a better pick percentage buys dinner at the end of the year. How about that?
I like that. Yep.
I like that a lot. I'll take the Bills, too, but we're aficionados. We're going to go by spreads. So, -6.5. Do you like the Bills or Steelers to cover? You're not as into the gambling part or just not as well versed, so you're gonna catch on real quickly these 6.5, 7.5 point spreads. That's how they dick people a lot for making bets.
Yeah,
especially
getting technical, kind of.
Yes,
yeah.
exactly.
Okay. I still like the Bills.
I
still think there's some Josh Allen magic to be had in a late situation.
Yeah, I like the Steelers plus 6.5 though. Give me 6.5 points. Bucks Cowboys -7.5.
I think it's going to be pretty close. So I don't know how much. I don't know. I just think that the Cowboys offense can keep up with them even if their defense is selling.
Plus
so
7.5.
Yeah.
Now, just to throw it out there, if you did a Cowboys upset and a Steelers upset, 12 to 1.
Okay.
That's pretty juicy. Pretty juicy. I might have
it's not far fetched.
No, not at all. Again, our best shot against the Bucs is week 1. Jets Panthers. We're gonna go real quick. Panthers are favored -5 points.
Darnold revenge game,
dude. I can't
Darnold
wait.
revenge
I can't
season.
Wait. We talked about this in our preview, dude. I am still okay. Here's
we'll see.
Hot take number 2. Oh, there's not a most improved player in the NFL, is there?
I don't believe
Fake
so.
most improved player award. Sam Darnold. I love Sam, and I'm gonna die on that train. Oh, dude.
And you might die this season, but I will be dying. I'll be dying with you. I'm right there.
I mean, die this season.
Adam Gase just doesn't do any players any favors. We don't know what Sam Darnold looks like yet. We don't.
No. I think a revenge game. Oh yeah, I love the revenge games. I wish it was in New York, dude. And I wish Adam Gase was.
He
still
just
the
fucking
coach,
comes into New York.
But they're at home, which is why I like it even more at -5.
And the Jets just aren't really. Their defense just isn't really that good.
No.
I feel like they could torch them.
So Salah's gonna help.
Oh, he's going to help the culture of the defense and installing a new scheme that isn't boneheaded. But
it'll be similar to your boy, to Staley, where
I really like both of those guys.
He could help the culture of it.
I just don't know. They just don't have Chargers level talent on the defense.
Exactly. And
so it's a little
and
tougher.
When you're a head coach, you can't just hone in and be in their ear all the time and really get guys who need help being in the right spots at the right time and knowing what do you. I mean, Bill Belichick's do your job. It really is that is the way to go. It's so hard to get guys to think like that because they think they need to make the play. I know Micah's like that a lot right now. He just wants to make every play.
Oh yeah.
But a lot of times not making the play is making the play, because if everyone just does their job of what they're supposed to do, that play is most of the time when a defense as a whole.
You're not going to have fuck ups because there aren't players overextending and trying to do everything. They're focused on their man doing their thing. Yeah, couldn't agree more.
The Panthers last year, they were in a lot of one-score games. They
had a pretty tough schedule too.
And a pretty tough schedule. So I like -5 actually. Give me the 5 points.
Okay, yeah, I'm with you.
Cool. Let's go to worst game of the week, Jags Texans. The only interesting thing about the Jags all year is going to be watching Trevor Lawrence and Urban Meyer and seeing how that develops. -2.5 on the road. So that's a juicy one because they just have to win by a field goal. If it was 3.5,
Okay.
you're kind of in limbo.
Yeah.
What's-
I think they'll win by more than a field goal personally. I mean, the Texans have no fucking talent, and giving Trevor a week 1 win, they're going to be playing hard. Trevor's going to be playing. I like it.
Yeah, give me the Texans to upset them week 1.
How do you figure?
I don't know.
Do you just want to fucking go rogue here? Is
Well,
that your,
no.
is that your
So
point?
I am a Tyrod fan. Me and my
QB1.
buddy Jason have been a Tyrod fan.
He was a Charger. I want him to have a good opportunity. He's been dicked over.
And he
these
took the
past
Bills
couple
to the
of seasons.
playoffs for the first time in
Absolutely.
years. That one year that they did.
But is that a McDermott thing? You know,
He's like Fitz in a lot of ways, where
Oh, yeah.
like you can plug him in a lot of places and play him, and he'll be fine. It's just you want to move on to the guy who's got potential because you know where his ceiling is.
I'm looking for Tyrod to get a chance.
It's more
to prove
so
himself.
of this is going to be Trevor's first game. This is going to be Urban's first game. There are going to be bumps and bruises along the line, and the Texans, before they get too depressed as a team for the season, it's just
You
I
think
don't
they
know.
could squeak one out here?
I
because
think
there's going to be
this
some
is
growing
one of the
pains.
2 or 3 games that I could see them actually winning on their schedule. So give me the Texans, dude. Mark it down. Mark it down.
Okay.
I'm gonna throw
okay.
a Texans Steelers boys 28-1. I'm gonna lose so much money this year. It's gonna be awesome. Cardinals Titans. This is a good one.
This is a good one. 2 efficient offenses.
Mm-hmm.
I like the Cardinals just a little bit more, even though they are playing in Tennessee,
In
because
Tennessee,
that Titans defense is abysmal. It is bad.
They
It is
did.
not
They did
good.
get Bud. They did bring in Bud.
Yeah, but they lost. Who did they lose in the secondary and replaced him with? What's his nuts? Dory Jackson, I think it was that they replaced.
and he was pretty good.
He was good, but there's hints of regression with him. I don't know. I like the Cardinals just a little bit more. I think Kyler has something to prove. I think he's ready to get back into it.
+3. Cardinals are +3. So that means they could win or lose up to a field goal, and you're still right.
I see over on that too. I think they're up by at least a touchdown or 2. They got a
Think
good.
so?
I like that offense.
I like it too. I'm gonna take the Titans. I think at home -3. Ugh. I hate that fucking 3 number.
Yeah, that a field goal is really tough. It's
Give
usually
me the 3 because if they win by 3, we're both right because it's just a push. The Titans, I'm such a flip-flopper on the Titans. I go back and forth because the workload that Derrick Henry has had for now going on 4 years, talk about unprecedented. It's an unprecedented workload, and there is usually a limit that running backs have before they start to hit a wall, and it usually happens pretty quick.
they tear down pretty quickly.
They did bring in Julio, and again, like Julio's been a guy where I've always been a little anti-Julio, and it's only because I've been so pro AJ Green, and that's always been kind of like a battle. And Julio was never a touchdown threat, and AJ's out here
Just getting yards
just
all day.
mossing
Yeah.
guys. So I've always been a little hesitant on Julio too, but I took him in our auction league in fantasy, and I'm a little more. I've talked myself into it now because
That's
I see
your
him
boy.
on the. Let's not get crazy. He's not my boy, but he's on the opposite side of AJ, and I see it as the number 1 corner. I've said this before. The number 1 corner is gonna, I think, be with AJ at least to start the year. It's probably been since Pee Wee football that he was going against the number 2 corner. As well as if they have a double team, I think they're going to double team AJ, as well as stack the box to try to stop Derrick Henry. So I think Julio's actually numbers wise might not have a huge year, but for the Titans offense, I think he's going to have a really good year. And I think that starts against Arizona. I don't like their secondary. I don't like their defense really at all. They lose Patrick Peterson, which was low-key a good thing. I just like Tennessee to control the clock, and I don't trust Kingsbury either. I think at home, I like the Titans. Eagles, Falcons, a little Jalen Matt Ryan action. Falcons are favored by 3.5.
I like that. I don't have a problem with that. I'm not big on either of these teams, to be honest. I don't think it's going to be insane. I don't think the Eagles are really going to put up too many points, but I don't think the Falcons will either necessarily, but I think they have more potential than the Eagles.
I like the Falcons though too. Arthur Smith, new head coach. I'm actually optimistic about. I think, and I'm becoming day by day a little more pro Mike Davis too. I like Mike Davis, dude. I think he's a guy who in a good running system, can be pretty good.
Matt Ryan's going to be throwing the ball too, so use him in limited situations with Arthur Smith putting him in good positions to run the ball and not overwork him. Yeah, I see what you're saying.
Matt Ryan on play action when he had Kyle Shanahan, it was unbelievable. And yes, they're losing Julio, but I mean, Pitts, dude. I mean, Kyle Pitts could come in and just be...
He's like a receiver.
He is like a receiver, just with a tight end
Big ass frame.
Yeah, I mean, he could... If he's elite immediately, and you have him and Calvin Ridley, and you can kind of run the ball.
We have an official booth review over here.
Yeah. Nothing like a technical difficulty. Ready to run it back?
The surgeon on his elbow is like, hey, no throwing down the field. And he's like, what? What did you just say? No.
All right, we're back. No technical difficulties. I thought there was a technical difficulty, so I checked, and there was not. So we're okay. We were just arguing. This guy's being so disrespectful to Big Ben. It's outrageous.
I'm treating him as he treats the female gender.
Okay, let's not bring what. No, okay, let's not bring. All right. Okay, we're just going to pick it back up from the Chargers and the Washington now football team. I'll let you go again with the Chargers because those are your team, those are your boys.
Our starting right tackle, Brian Bulaga, is hurt again. We don't know if he's going to be ready for week 1. So that defense feasting against a backup right tackle is going to be iffy. But look at what Herbert did with a shitty offensive line last year. We'll see. And when you look at the Fitz magic cycle, I have it pulled up here.
Who's your guys' left tackle?
Rashawn Slater.
He's playing left tackle?
Yeah.
Damn.
Yep.
Okay. That's going to be Chase Young versus Rashawn Slater.
Round 3.
Oh, yeah.
Yep, round 3.
Didn't he held up pretty good against him at
He
Ohio
held up very
State.
good. But that makes me nervous, though, because I think Chase Young has something to prove. Like, okay, this guy's not. Like, no. So I'm a little nervous for that, but I am not nervous for Ryan Fitzpatrick. I think if he were the backup coming into the game, we'd be fucked because...
Let me cut you off because Washington is going to win this game. Upset week 1. +1 is a sneaky line because so many people are high on the Chargers. Fitzmagic. I'm only going to call him Fitzmagic. He's going to come in and throw for 387 yards and 3 touchdowns. Antonio Gibson's going to put in another 2 on the ground, and it's going to be a rough debut for the defensive guru, Brandon Staley, as he loses to the football team. 38-31. 38-31 Skins. Oh, football team.
38-31 team.
Yeah, bleep that out. Bleep it. Washington is just a team, like they're a gross team. Fitzmagic, and it's just not a very glamorous team. They're in the NFC East. Nobody really cares, but they have such a good roster. It's such a good defense. I think they're going to come out and give them some headaches.
It's going to be a very tough game, and I would not be surprised if we did lose by a minimal score, but I have to keep positive for my boys out there.
I can make this one quick, too. Niners-Lions, another 10 o'clock game.
I mean, come on.
Okay, 7.5.
I like that.
Yeah, me too. All right, next. Hawks Colts. This is kind of a barn burner. Maybe not really, but
not
for
as much anymore, just because we don't know who's going to be.
Yeah, but we're rooting against the Seahawks.
But we are rooting against the Seahawks.
So I watch it with a vested interest because I want them to lose. Yep. I really want to see the Russell drama get out of control again. I have grown to love Russ. He's so good. I do still think you can call this a hot take. I don't think it's a hot take. Alex Smith wins a Super Bowl with that Hawks team in 2014. Russ's second year. Yes, I think it was 2013 because 2014 they were trying to go back to back, and then Russ made that awesome throw at the 1 yard line. Remember that, Hawks fans?
So you say you can plug Alex Smith into that system? Okay.
For his first 3 or 4 years, I don't think he was anything crazy. I think he was a system quarterback.
Yeah.
And
he wasn't one of those top 3 arm talent, throw the fucking ball 6 yards on a rope.
No, they just had one of the 5 best defenses of all time.
They had fucking Marshawn Lynch running it down teams' throats. I mean,
My Hawks friends get all hot and bothered by that because they're so up Russ's ass.
Well, that's the thing about Hawks fans is that they're very biased. They're very biased.
And everybody is. We just see it more because we live
a community around Hawks fans. So, and that's why we're so harsh on them, too, is because we are like...
But hey, you're a product of your environment, right? I've been saying that since I've been in therapy the last 5 months. And you're a product of your environment. And I'm a product of my sports environment, which makes me... When I grew up in California, I probably couldn't even tell you where the fucking Hawks played. I couldn't point Seattle out on a map. And now all I hear and all I see every day is Seahawks. So
And that DK Metcalf is a top 5 receiver.
Yeah, Mason's very hot on this. DK is not a top 5 receiver, which, I mean, sure. Whenever we get into the top 5 or top 3 or whatever.
It's kind of subjective and it's kind of hard because
it's dumb. To me, there's just like tiers of like elite guys, kind of elite guys, good guys, and then just your normal receivers.
Yeah.
I think he's elite.
I think he's an elite talent. And I think it is because we're in this area. I'm just hearing so much about him, and he gets so much.
I said it before. Would you think
everywhere.
he was top 5 if he was a Charger?
No, I still don't. Dude, no, because I don't like just putting this guy on this pedestal just because he's on your team. Like, I'm not saying Herbert's a top 5 quarterback. I mean, that's blasphemous, like in general. But I'm not.
Okay, so let's get to the game.
Yeah, let's get on this. Let's get out of this.
Hawks Colts. What do you think about that matchup specifically? While I pull up DK's numbers to prove you wrong.
Okay.
Dude, he had 83 catches last year for 1,300 yards and 10 TDs.
That's very good. What is that? His second year, third year now?
Yeah, second year.
Show it to me one more season compared to all these other guys, and we'll see. Okay. We'll see. I'm just sick of hearing about it. I do favor the Colts. They don't necessarily have receiver talent like that.
And T.Y. just went down.
Oh, he did. I was just going to say, if T.Y. can stay healthy and maybe get back to a good level, but fuck yeah. So, I mean, what you're looking at, Pittman,
Yeah, T.Y. just had neck surgery.
Oh, fuck, that sucks.
You know, Carson Wentz is another one that I have to die on the train of because he was an MVP. He isn't an MVP, but he was an MVP before he hurt himself that year. We'll talk about that another time. I hate Nick Foles so much. At home, the Colts play tough, though, man. They play tough, but I like that.
The Colts are just kind of brutal right now.
Carson coming off of COVID? Didn't he just have COVID?
Who, Chris Carson?
No, Carson Wentz.
Oh, Carson Wentz? Yeah, but he also is out with this foot injury for the next 3 to 4 weeks. So.
I think he's playing.
No way. Really? I guess he did get hurt pretty early in camp, though.
Carson Wentz, 5 hours ago. Carson Wentz has another good day of practice.
Oh, well, I mean, that helps, but I'd still probably take the Hawks, and I like the spread on that.
He says feeling optimistic, but acknowledged the final say on his availability for week 1 will be up to the team doctors. I think he's going to play, and let's just assume that he's playing. I think there's a chance that he resurrects himself with Frank Reich. Frank Reich was the coach that he was an almost MVP with, and I think they're in a horrible division that if the Titans just tail off a little bit, I mean, even the Titans are only projected like 9.5 wins. There's a chance they go on a run here, and if they steal this game week 1 and they play well against the Hawks, it's going to change how I look at them going out through the rest of the year. I'm just really interested where they're going to see Carson go or be assured that he isn't really a starting QB
I hope he goes.
anymore.
I was so high on him that MVP year, dude. I thought he was incredible. Just seeing a guy that big, move around, run around like that, and just dominate. I'm big on Carson as well, but I'll take the Hawks this week, unfortunately.
Okay, let's move through a couple of these a little quicker. Vikings, Bengals. Vikings favored by 3. Give me the Vikings. Vikings are going to be kind of just a team all year that it's going to be hard to pick them or pick against them because there's good things you can see. They can run the ball, obviously, with Dalvin. He's one of the best. They have Justin Jefferson. They have Adam Thielen. Their defense just hasn't been, which with Zimmer is weird because he's a defensive-minded coach, but their defense has not been very good. They are getting Danielle Hunter back. Bengals, Vikings. I'll tune in on Red Zone. Won't be paying too much attention. It'll be nice to see if Joe comes back and how he looks.
I like the Vikings as well, though. With the Bengals, I'm just kind of against the Bengals this season because I'm so pissed off at them for not protecting Joe Burrow.
I know. I wish they would have taken Penei Sewell instead of Jamar Chase.
Yeah, absolutely. I get
that being said, though,
wanting a reunion like that, but fuck off, dude.
They have a hell of a receiving core, and on the spot, I will change my pick. Give me the Bengals plus 3. I like the field goal. I like them putting up points.
I'm going to stay with the Vikings.
Okay. Let's go Dolphins, Pats.
This is a good one.
The Tua train rolls into New England week 1. I think it's going to be too much. I think if Bill has had an entire offseason to plan for this first game.
And Bill is pissed.
Oh, dude. That was on my thing for the Pats when we talked about headlines earlier. Bill being salty. Not only is Bill salty about the 7 wins, but then he was just sitting there watching Brady win the Super Bowl, just fucking.
He probably turned it off in the second quarter of that Super Bowl. Oh, fuck this.
He says he sent him like a congratulatory text or something like that.
I mean, yeah, you got to be close with the guy who you won all those rings with.
Yeah, but he was rooting against him for sure.
Come on.
So absolutely. I think they're going to come out. I think it's going to be a rough week 1 for Tua.
Me too. That the Patriots defense is just known to
It'll be a
low-scoring
game, though, I think. I think it'll be low scoring because, I mean, Mac going against Brian Flores' defense, I think.
Oh, the Dolphins have a very sneaky defense.
Yeah. So Patriots by 3. I'll take the Pats.
I'm taking the Pats as well.
If anything, easily. I think they cover. This might be the game. I'm going to save that one. Let's go Broncos Giants. That's boring. Teddy fucking Two Gloves. Get out of here, dude. Broncos, my most disappointing team of the year for me. I think The defense is elite. I think they're just waiting for Aaron Rodgers. I think everybody knows that. The fact that they didn't trade down and take one of those QBs or just take one of them, they still had Fields and Mack there at their pick at number 8, 9.
Yeah, I believe so. Yeah.
I think they're waiting on A-Rod. I know Drew Lock's not the answer. I still would have started Drew Lock because he either gives you the potential to be
a good pick,
to be okay and actually be all right with a full offseason, or he could be horrible and you get a better pick. I think Teddy's going to be just mediocre all year. Going into New York, New York's okay. They have a good defense. They have good Saquon's going to be limited, though. I'm pretty sure.
Their offense is bad.
And their offense is pretty rough. They did get Kenny Galladay. I'm pretty sure he's out, though. Daniel Jones is just a fumble waiting to happen at all times.
Give me the Broncos.
2.5. Yeah, give me the Broncos as well. Let's go Packers Saints.
That's a pretty good game.
What do you think? It's -4 to the Packers. I'm pretty sure they're playing in Jacksonville.
They are playing in Jacksonville. They chose Jacksonville because it would be the hardest. Did you see that storyline?
Yeah. It's backfiring, though. Apparently, there's like a little...
Oh, yeah, that probably pissed off Packers fans. Like, okay, you're trying to make it hard for us to get there? Fuck you. We are paying those...
No, I think they miscalculate. I think there's like a pocket of big Packer fans in Jacksonville.
Well, that fucking sucks. And I would imagine, even if it's too pricey, hard to get there, just because the Packers fans heard that, they're like, okay, no, we are going to show up now and we are going to make noise. They're pretty passionate fans. I like the Packers in this game, though. As much as I like the Saints, I like the Packers a lot more. I like their offense and
Saints
defense
having
more.
to go to Dallas to practice the last couple of weeks.
They've been traveling a lot. They're tired. They don't have the weapons necessary on offense quite yet in terms of receivers, with Michael being out and Callaway being somewhat unproven. Yeah. As much as I like the Saints this year and want them to succeed, give me the Packers all fucking day.
Me too.
It's our mascot for the Cover 2 podcast.
Yeah, that's Nala. She's probably... Yay. Do it again, Nala. Yes. Thank you. Sorry, guys. You're going to have to hear that. But we roll with the punches here. Bears-Rams. That's going to be ugly. If there's anything that I know all too well, especially after last year, I swear God just was playing a prank on me last year by signing Andy as our backup. And then, of course, Stack goes down and I have to watch Andy for... Yay, Nala. Keep barking. Thank you. I hated having to watch Andy Dalton as much as I had to last year. And AJ Green, over the last 6 or 7 years since he got drafted, has been my favorite non-Cowboy. I've loved him so much. And I had to watch Andy Dalton go 2 for 8 on a Thursday night game when I had AJ in my starting lineup in a fantasy game. And it was so painful. And primetime Andy is a thing, and it's a bad thing. And I think it's going to show up on Sunday night against the Rams, and they're going to get eaten alive.
Oh, yeah. Give me the Rams all day.
7.5, even 7.5.
I like it.
Yeah, no, me too. I think that's pretty quick and painless. There's going to be a lot of talk about Justin Fields after this game already, especially the fact that it's in a prime time slot. I think Matt Nagy's going to cave to the pressure. I'm hoping they stick with Andy, to protect Justin, and also to be bad and get Matt Nagy the fuck out of there. Pretty sure his odds for first coach to be fired are number 1.
I believe so.
He's just a fucking...
He fooled everyone in 2018 when they went 12-4 with Mitch. It was like, oh, this guy's a genius. He's an offensive mastermind. No, he's not.
I remember reading last year when they had a Monday night game. He, on Friday, turned the play calling over to Lazar or whatever their OC
like
was.
Bill Lazor, I think, or Lazar.
Yeah, I keep wanting to call him fucking the area guy, the space guy. But as soon as they handed the reins over to him, over the next 5 games, they scored 30, 24 plus in 5 straight games, and they never did that under Nagy, who was this offensive guy under Andy Reid coming in, supposed to save the day. Let's get him the fuck out of there. Let's bring somebody in who can work with... Let's bring Brian Dable in to work with Justin Fields and get that fucking ship turned the fuck around.
That would be very cool.
Please. Let's go to Monday night before we get to what I think is the game of the week. Ravens-Raiders. Ravens are on the road, favored by 4.5.
I like it. I don't think the Raiders defense can contain any aspect of any offense in the league right now. I think they're very bad.
Now, you just told me Baltimore worked out Le'Veon today.
They did, because I can't remember the backup who just tore his Achilles.
You said Justice Hill?
I believe so. Yep. Yeah, another Ravens running back tear. I don't know what the Ravens... the Ravens are in a tough spot now because they don't really have a bell cow. They got Gus the Bus. I mean, but they're working out Le'Veon now. They're kind of out of options at this point. I think they worked out Todd Gurley, but his knees are so fucked that they're like, okay, we can't.
Dude, so he's not on a team?
Le'Veon?
No, Todd?
Oh, no. I don't believe he is.
Dude, how old is he?
He is, I would venture to guess, maybe 28, 29.
Yeah, dude. Wow, that's
He
crazy.
got like arthritis. Like
yeah, 27.
27? Wow. That sucks.
Dude, what a fall.
He was like the best running back in the league for like
his
two
first two
seasons.
McVay years. Yeah. Damn.
That really sucks.
Good for him. At least he got his money, though.
Oh, yeah.
Jesus. Okay, well, damn. But yeah, that is going to, I think, be a factor, a big-time factor, losing not just Dobbins, but even Hill. The only thing is they're pretty good with those plug-and-play guys. Gus will be good. They're probably going to have to run Lamar more than they wanted to.
And that's not, if they
It's
lose
not good,
Lamar,
but in terms of until he gets hurt, it is good because he might be the biggest threat in the open field in the entire league, including running backs and receivers.
Yeah.
So I like 4.5 too. That's a Monday night game. That'll be a good Monday night. We're going to Vegas for our buddy's bachelor party next month, and we're flying Allegiant Air, and it's like so debatable because they're just it's like super cheap, and like just looking at a picture of the plane, you're like, oh, there's a 35% chance that this thing crashes. But the fact that it clicked to me when I saw a couple months ago that they're the Allegiant, they're the sponsor of the stadium. It honestly made me feel a little better about them just being a safe flight because they're an actual big sponsor for
you can't just have your name plastered on a stadium and then
exactly, and be some knockoff.
Planes,
yeah, I would like to think, knock on wood. Definitely not wearing my Kobe jersey on that flight. Sorry. Too soon. I'm a Kobe guy, all right?
Dude,
everyone?
look at your fucking
I know.
poster back there.
Sorry. R.I.P. Okay. Game of the week. I also won't be sitting in aisle 8 or 24. Game of the week. Browns at Chiefs. The Browns are the team everybody is just all on board with because they honestly, arguably, probably have the best roster in the entire league.
Especially on defense. I love their defense.
It's weird for me accepting that a team like the Browns is going to be probably pretty good year in, year out, or a team like the Bills is going to be good year in, year out. Like, I'm so expecting, and I think it's a combination too that I still don't really believe in Baker. Talk about a contract issue that's going to come up because Baker's going to want to make so much money. It seems like every new QB is the highest paid.
But it's Baker. And maybe I'm wrong because Baker is a big personality, but I just don't think Baker's going to demand. He knows his role. Dude. He knows. Maybe I'm wrong. I definitely could be wrong. Now that I'm
think you're wrong. This is Mr. Progressive.
But this is. He knows he's not Josh Allen or Patrick Mahomes. He knows that Stefanski. I would assume so. Otherwise, that guy's batshit. And yeah, we're talking shit about him because that's ridiculous. He's got to know that Chubb and Kareem and that defense and Stefanski are the reasons the Browns are the Browns. And I hope he takes a good. He gets paid, but he's not a top paid quarterback.
I don't think he should be, and I would like to hope that he doesn't think he is. But at the same time, if they go 12-5 this year and win the division and make it to another deep playoff run, and it's mostly not because of him, but he's the guy. A, it's going to be hard not to pay him a lot, and B, he's probably going to still feel that ego of his and ask for quite a bit. I don't think he should be making more than a lot of guys. If you're talking, I mean, with Allen's extension, it sounds like 40 is kind of the benchmark number as of right now.
But 40 is like, I'd say 40 is like, okay, you are MVP candidate making playoff pushes like Baker.
It just doesn't seem to work like that anymore. It seems like as long as you're good, whoever's up next is going to be the next highest paid. I can't even imagine what Herbert's going to get. What they can extend him after next year, going into the fourth year.
Yeah, I'm sure they can. I don't know how exactly it'll play out like that. Herbert's also
because Josh Allen just had his third year, right? Last year,
I believe so.
That was his third, and then now they extended him. So I just don't think he. But okay, regardless of the fact, let's stay focused on this game.
Yeah,
I'm at 6.5. God damn,
are the Chiefs favored?
6.5.
I picked the Browns
to win.
Yeah, it's week 1. You never know. I mean, week 1 can get kind of weird sometimes. Sometimes the starters are a bit iffy. Mahomes was looking great in the preseason. He got to shake the rust off in the preseason. They were looking pretty good. Yeah. I really, really like Troy Hill and John Johnson going to Cleveland, though. I really like that secondary now. And some week 1 fuckery is always on the table.
Yeah, that's true.
And I like it. They're underdogs. Fuck
I
it.
will
Give me
take the Browns.
Give me the Browns.
I'll take the Browns plus 6.5. You're
Yeah.
taking them to win outright, which is a little wild, but
I'm probably going to be wrong. I could definitely be wrong, and I probably will be, but fuck it. Why not? You know?
no, I like it. I like the Chiefs to win, but the Browns to cover.
Okay.
With that, real quick, I want to go up here and make a Browns, Steelers, Cowboys, and what was the other one? What was the other debatable one? What's a good road team that is an underdog?
Did we have, was it the Cardinals and
Cardinals.
Titans? Okay.
Cardinals a plus 130. Holy motherfucker. Browns, Steelers, boys, Cardinals. If you put $10 on that, guess how much you win?
How much are you winning?
Guess.
Oh, you want me to guess?
I'll give you one guess.
$350.
$950.
Holy shit. Wow. I didn't want to go too high and sound like stupid or
Yep.
something.
Now you
Fuck.
sound stupid
Wow.
for going way too low.
Yeah, no, I do, dude. I'm a little new to the betting scene, so
No.
I'm going to catch on over the season. And
For sure. When you start getting crazy with the underdogs, it starts getting pretty wild.
I mean, yeah, that is pretty. I mean, taking the Browns, taking the Cardinals
Yeah.
even is a bit iffy. The boys
Yeah.
versus the Bucks, too.
Yeah. Good shit. Good
Wow.
shit.
Yeah, way to end the podcast on a fucking bizarre note.
Yeah,
Taking
if you
the
want to
Browns
win
and then-
$950, there you go. We just gave it to you. Well, not too bad, huh?
Not too bad at all.
Not too
I
bad.
Think I think we're getting there.
I think we sound way better than our other two that we did.
Yeah, it was a little awkward.
I think we were just trying to sound really
Trying to feel
smart,
it out.
trying to and we spent way too long talking about the fucking Jets and Falcons and shit. But I'm excited, dude. They're only going to be better too because we're actually going to have games to react to and watch.
I'm so fucking excited
It's
that
so good,
football
dude.
is back and we get to watch hours of football and then talk about it.
It's the best.
We just
time
get
of
to
year.
talk about a bunch of games.
How are Sundays going to work with you and Jess? What's the protocol?
She can hang out with me while I watch my games, but I'm just going to sit down every day and have Red Zone on, have probably another screen on for my Charger games. And then if there's the big Browns and Chiefs and I do want to watch the whole thing and analyze maybe my phone screen or something, take some notes. She's more than welcome to hang out though. She knows what's going on. We got a podcast to do, man.
Yeah. Oh, no. Yeah. No. Well, yeah. Now I have to watch the games, right? There's a podcast.
Absolutely. I got to watch the games. What do you want me to do? This is my job.
Yeah,
This is
no,
my
for sure.
job. I got to do it.
All right, y'all. Well, that will do it for our first actual official episode
It has been an honor.
of Cover 2 with Mason Besser and Nathan Phillips. We will be back next week. I'm telling y'all, the audio won't be perfect. The video won't be perfect. We're getting there. I'm learning things. I'm implementing things. Showed Mason a couple things today that he liked. It's going to look better week by week. If you have any suggestions, if you know anything about audio, video, and you have some suggestions that'll help, I am open ears. I am a rookie at this. I am still saying fucking and way too much. Damn it. But it will get better. And we'll be back next week to break down the week 1 games, look ahead to week 2, and just have a good fucking time, y'all. All right.
Thank you so much, everyone.
From Mason and myself, we will see you next week. Hallelujah. Merry Christmas, everybody. Football is back.
Week 1, baby.
All right, y'all. Peace.
Peace. Good shit. I love it.